Here's my promise to you. If you do and build what I teach in this video, your sales will be fully automated. And when I say fully automated, I don't mean like you're going to have to do any work to maintain it. There's only one thing that you're going to need to do. Once you build this automation, the only thing that you need to do is monitor one data point, which I'm going to tell you about later on in this video. So this is going to be a fully automated sales process. Once you build it, now it's work to build, and that's what this video is about, is building this automation. But once you build it, you only have to monitor one data point and then you're done. So you build it and then you're done. Set it and forget it. And right away, what I'm going to say is that if you have my ads course or my low ticket product course, you're going to have a leg up on everybody else who's just watching a YouTube video. I'm going to do my best to go over everything I can, but it's just a YouTube video. If you have my ads course and my how to create a viral digital product course, you're going to be able to follow along much more easily because you have a lot of what I dive into. I'm going to go bird's eye view in this video. I'm going to do the best I can to give you everything you need in this YouTube video, but it's not going to be as in-depth and step-by-step the way my courses are. So if you have the ads course and you have the viral digital product course, which most of you have, you're good. Now, okay, the other thing, I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. The other thing in this video, before we get into this nitty gritty, is two things. One, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you the exact numbers that you need to aim for in order to hit your goal of one sale per day. So the goal is this automation, the one that we're going to build right now, is going to make at least one sale per day for you so that you never again have $0 days. I want you to never have a day in your business where you make $0 moving forward once you build this automation. And so I'm going to give you the exact numbers that you need for every data point. So for every stage of the automation, I'm going to give you, you're going to need this and you're going to need this. I'm going to give you the exact numbers that you're going to need for every stage. So you're very, very focused and you're very, very clear on what needs to happen for you to go from $0 a day to sales every single day. And by the way, in case you don't know, I get 60 to 70 sales per day, sometimes as many as 100 sales per day. But like 70 sales per day is my average. So I really do know what I'm talking about. And I've done this for a while. I'm getting over a cold, by the way. So if my voice sounds weird, that's why. The other thing that I wanted to say before we actually get into the nitty gritty of this is that this YouTube video is probably going to be confusing. It's going to feel overwhelming a little bit. And I'm just preemptively warning you because I'm teaching you, one second. Okay. Because I'm teaching you the like actual things that you can implement, an actual automation you can build, parts of it are going to feel overwhelming because your skills haven't caught up to where they need to be. And so that's okay. Expect a bit of a learning curve. Go back and watch this. I think for a lot of you, you'll probably have to watch this video more than once, which is why I want to keep it as short as I can while teaching you everything that you need to know in order to build this automation. So take a deep breath. We're going to get in it. It's going to be very valuable. I have a feeling this is going to be the best YouTube video I've ever made. I certainly felt that way when I was outlining it. I spent a lot of time outlining it. And I think this is going to be the best YouTube video I've ever made. And I want to get into it with you now. So I'm going to set up my iPad and then we're going to get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is actually show you the whole automation flow so you have an idea of what we're going to be building here. Just make sure my pen is good. I don't know that my pen is. Hang on one second. I don't know that my pen is going. Okay, so here's the automation that we're going to build, and we're going to do this one step at a time. I want you to have the bird's eye view first so you get a sense of what this is going to look like when we're done. So it's going to start with a freebie, which more on that later. Again, this is just bird's eye. Then you're going to have ads. Again, more on it later. Don't panic at any stage. I'm just giving you the overview. The ads are going to collect email addresses. So that stands for like an @ symbol, or we'll just say email addresses. The email addresses are going to go to an email automation, and the email automation is going to go to a low ticket product. So if we zoom out, this is the whole funnel. It's freebie, goes to ads. The ads collect email addresses. The email addresses go into an email automation, and the email automation pitches the low ticket product. Now, I know this feels really overwhelming. And so I'm going to star. There's a couple areas where you can fully anticipate it being a little bit more difficult, and we're going to talk about those. So here are the areas that, let me just do this one. Areas that are going to be a little bit more difficult are the ads, more on that later. The email automation, no, that's the wrong one. Email automation, again, more on that later. And creating a low ticket product people actually want. These are your 3 difficult areas. Now, if you already have my ads course, and if you already have my, how to create a viral digital product course, you're good and you don't need to worry about this. Those are handled because you can just do what I say in those courses. But for those of you guys that don't have the courses, just in your own brains, as we go over the next, 2 pages of notes, just keep in mind that having done this and taught this for so long, I know that your sticking point areas are probably going to be the ads and probably going to be the email automation, probably going to be the low ticket products. And that's just areas where your skills are going to have to develop as we build this. And I'm going to show you the back end of how all of this works. But I want to remind you that at the very end, I'm going to do the math with you, and I'm going to give you the numbers you need to hit your goal of 1 sale per day, meaning what I'm going to do is say, okay, here's how much, here's what, at the very end of this video, I'm gonna say, here's how much you're gonna need to spend on ads per day. It's not a lot. Here's how many email addresses you're gonna have to collect per day. So I'm gonna tell you how many email addresses you're gonna have to collect every single day. I'm also going to teach you how to build the automations and just kind of like what you need to know conversion-wise for the email automation. And then finally, I'm gonna tell you what to charge for your low ticket product. So we're going to go over each one of these stages in depth. I'm going to give you examples of my freebies. I'm going to give you examples of the ads we run to set this up. I'm going to show you my email automations. I'm going to go over all of this, but I want you to know that at the very end of this video, you're going to get some important data on what your targets need to be for each one of these stages. And I don't want you to miss it because it's going to be really important. All right, so I'm going to pull up the ads now. I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to show you the freebies. Spoiler alert, the ads, if you're going to do this and make this really profitable, and I'll give you a little spoiler, by the way. Once you build this, your worst case scenario profit per day is $70, and your best case scenario is almost $200 in profit per day. So this is a very profitable email automation, and the first part of all of this is the freebie, and it hinges on you having a good freebie. So I want to show you examples of my freebie so you can kind of see what this looks like. Okay, so let me show you here. I'm going to get off of this double. Let me show you. This is the freebie, one of the freebies that we've created. It's the one that I'm going to use as an example. It's how I got 100,000 Instagram followers. If you, as I scroll through this, it's 60 pages of like really, really good stuff. So like how to go viral, how to explode your follower count quickly. Like if you see, there's just so much in here. It's not a freebie that was built in Canva that has a ton of white space that doesn't look good. Like this is a it's like taking forever to load. It's so jam-packed. This is a jam-packed freebie, and all these images that come in, it is super valuable. People get an insane amount of followers from just following this guide. And so if you go, and again, like I have a lot of freebies like this, the key for this funnel working is to have a really good freebie, a very sexy freebie where it's like, I could charge for this. It's so good. It's better than most people's paid stuff. And that's why we'll kind of go as we go on and start talking about the ads here in a second. That's why we get so many email addresses so inexpensively, is because the freebie is so good. It's a no-brainer. And so the first thing that you need to know is like your freebie doesn't have to be really nicely designed. You can see here, it's just text in a Google Doc that I exported as a PDF, but it does have very, very valuable information, things that people would love to pay for. And so you're going to want to think about, like in my industry, what is that freebie that I'm going to offer that's going to be so sexy and so good? They just have to have it. Okay, so now what I want to show you, so once you've got your freebie created, that's step one. I want to show you what the ads are going to look like. Let's see, where is this? Rose gave me one. I hope I didn't. I think I did X out of this. Okay, I'm going to pull this up here from Rose. She gave me a bunch of examples. It was just very helpful. So let me pull up. Rose gave it to me. Okay, here we go. Here's the link. So this is what the ad itself looks like. This is the ad that we run to this freebie. And then what happens is they're going to click learn more. Just ignore that. It's a plugin. They're going to click learn more. And then they put in their name and their email address, agree to the privacy policy, and then click submit. That's it. And our cost per leads is extremely low. You can see here, like when she didn't share all the screenshots, but we have some where they're as low as 50 cents per email address. And we're going to talk about this later when we go over all the numbers. This is an insane return on investment because we can take that $1 or that 50 cents and turn it into $10. We'll talk about that more, but just so you guys know, if you have the ads course, you're going to want to do what Rose says in the practical stuff. And over here in she has the like crush your campaigns by copying ours section. This is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to follow everything that she teaches, especially over here in part 1 and part 2. And then she has the stuff down further as well on this. Yeah. How to set up your ads. Like all of this is what you should be following. For those of you that do have the ads course, that's what we did to get this ad that you saw. And so if you do have the ads course, that's what you're going to want to follow. Just go to that module and do everything that we teach in this module here. And I mean, really just the whole course, but like in particular, copy our campaigns. There's no point in you reinventing the wheel. Just copy our campaigns. So use what's in this section here on the far left and then down here as well. And then if you don't, just like kind of, if you don't have our ads course and you kind of want to break it down, you can see here that it's a picture of me holding the freebie, kind of showing how it works. And then it pops up. And then Rose did share, you're going to want to choose the leads as the ad objective. So that's for you if you're kind of like bootstrapping it and you're kind of figuring out what you're doing and you don't have our ads course yet, choose the leads objective. Okay, so now the third stage, if we go back to our iPad, let me get out of here. We'll go back to our iPad because the next stage is, go back to my iPad here. It's always like a million things. I should pause this to turn it off so you aren't like in the process. But the next stage of all of this is you've got ads and now you're collecting email addresses. And these email addresses are going into the email automation. Now, email automation, I've not really talked about this at all because email automations can be very complicated and it's hard to do that and Instagram and YouTube and all the other things. And so if you're going to do emails, it really should be your one platform and it should have all of your focus. Otherwise, you're going to spread yourself too thin and we don't want you to spread yourself too thin. So just keeping that in mind, think of this automation that we're building together as it's like you're building an assistant that's going to send you sales every day. Because once you build this, I'll show you, and we're going to do the math together on how you're going to get a minimum of 1 sale a day. And my students who have been building this out are doing more than 1 sale a day. So what we need to do now is we need to look at the email automations and kind of show you how that's set up. So we've looked at the freebies and you got an example of that. We've looked at the ads. Again, if you have the ads course, it's a little easier. We're collecting email addresses with that ad that like pops up and collects the email address. Now we got to look at how the actual email automation itself is set up. And I kind of want you guys to get a behind the scenes of what that looks like because that's where those cold email addresses become excited paying customers. So that's what I'm going to show you next. Okay, so I want to show you this new one that I'm building. I'm actually really excited for you to see it because I just started building this one. You can see here like 13 days ago. And all of our email automations have a 5% completion rate, meaning 5% of the people who go through our email automations buy from us. And if you don't know marketing stats, that's actually pretty high. 1% is average, so 5% is like 5 times the average. And when you're getting email addresses for as cheap as we are via ads automatically, to then have all these people be automatically put in an automation and be purchasing at 5% on autopilot is quite high. So I just want to kind of show you what this looks like. You can see we've got 5,000 people through it. We just started this one 13 days ago. And I want you to kind of like look at what this is going to look like. And then I'll show you a bigger one too that also has a 5% completion rate. All of our automations have 5% completion rates. But it does take a second to load, but I just want you to see what this looks like, because again, this is what's happening, and this is done in ActiveCampaign. This is what's happening once they opt in at an ad. Then they get sent these emails that I write. And you can see here, our goal is 1,000 people a day. And so we're working up to that. So on some of the other automations we've built, you would see 1,000, give or take a couple, 1,000, give or take a couple, 1,000, give or take a couple, 1,000, give or. So you can see here, it's, it's every day in this one automation. Like tomorrow, 475 people are going to get email number 5. 525 people are going to get email number 6. Tomorrow, 200 people are going to get that one, how I got my girls to go viral. So they go through this. It's 45 days. This one's not fully built out yet because it's the one I've been working on. But they're going to go through that. We're at 13 emails we're in so far out of 45. And by the time everyone goes through a 45-day email sequence, 5% of them are going to buy. So I'm sharing, I'm like revealing a little bit ahead. I'm getting a little ahead of myself on some of the numbers, but we'll go over them more thoroughly. This is what I want you to see is this is the next stage. This is built in ActiveCampaign. It's a very simple email automation. You just would go to like emails, automations, and then you would just build a new one. And we queue it just so you kind of know how we do it. We queue it so that they get 1 email per day, always around the same time every single day. And let me show you really quickly the other one that's kind of more built out, because I think it's also kind of interesting to see. That one might take a hot second to load, by the way, because it's got the full. That's the one thing I will say. I love ActiveCampaign, but the one thing that I will say is that it takes a hot second to like get it up and running. So you can see here we have 23,000 people in this automation. So it's like a decent chunk every day. People are just kind of pumping through it. It is going to take a second to load. But basically, guys, this is the part where it kind of all comes together, because the ads are running organically and then the email addresses are running organically or like automatically. The ads are running automatically in the background. The email addresses are running automatically in the background. This is all happening on complete autopilot. And so this is what I say, like, I promise it will be completely automated. And the only thing, and I'm going to talk about the only piece of data you have to monitor in a minute, but once you set up the ads and once you set up the email automations, it just runs around the clock and people go through this. Like in our case, quite a lot of people run through this, and we have several of these automations running, and we're building more over the next couple of months. And so you can start to kind of do the math on how, okay, if 5% of these people are going to convert, that means Maria's going to have guaranteed, let's just do the math on this, right? Like, let's take this one here. Tomorrow, 624, what's 5%? I can ask ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT for so much math stuff now, you guys. What's 5% of 624? 31 people. And that's just that day. And that's just one automation. And so you can kind of see how I'm able to report the income that I report, right? You guys know I do my monthly income reports, and it's like last month it was over $400,000. You kind of can get a sense of, okay, that's how this is happening. That's how this is running at such a massive scale. And Maria's working as little as she is. It's because of automations like this. And I really haven't talked a lot about it because I'm worried it's going to overwhelm you. But I also feel like I'm not a gatekeeper. I just want you to know what I'm doing. I'm going to link to ActiveCampaign down below so you can check it out. It is expensive. I know some people use other softwares. I think Flowdesk people like that I think is cheaper. For me, it's worth the money because of what it can do for me, what it can build. But I know that people find other softwares just like you just need something that can send emails automatically every day. So it doesn't have to be ActiveCampaign. I believe ActiveCampaign is the best, but you don't need the best right now if you're just getting started. You just need something that's going to reliably send an email every single day. So it doesn't have to be super crazy complicated. Okay, now I want to show you the low ticket products, and I want to kind of show you what you need to do there, because you could do all the steps right up to this point, but if you don't build the right product, it's not going to sell. And all this work of doing ads and all this work of building the email automation is going to be for nothing. And product is the thing people get wrong the most. So I want to, if you have my course, how to create and I know a lot of you guys do. So if you have my course, how to create a viral digital product, here's the sections I want you to watch because that's going to teach you everything. I want you to watch the 3 things every digital product must have to go viral. And when I say go viral, I mean people see it and they want it. That's what needs to happen with your email automation. People need to be introduced to your product and they need to immediately want it. Because if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to trigger that like desire in your customers, you're going to write emails. You're going to write 45 emails and not make any sales. And that is terrifying to me. And so I want you to watch this video, 3 things every digital product must have to go viral. And then I also want you to watch the sneaky market research one. That's very important. And your viral digital product has to have this or will flop. That's your homework. For those of you guys that have this, this course, I want you to watch those because those are the ones that are going to help you make sure your product is actually going to sell. If you don't have that course, here's what I will say. I'm going to like give you like as much of a bird's eye view as I can. Let me turn off my circle so you don't see me twice. Your product has to solve a problem and it has to be priced appropriate to the market. And when I say a problem, not a problem you've experienced and kind of find cute and quirky and now you're going to turn into a product. It has to solve a real problem in the marketplace or everything else is going to flop. You could have the best marketing in the world, but if your product is shit, it's not going to sell. And so it's worth, in my opinion, like the ads course, get the ads course, but also get the viral digital product one if you can, because they just work really well together. And then at the end of the day, you have this product that automatically has leads coming in from the ads and then is an easy sell. That's what you need, is a product that's an easy sell, an easy yes, so that 5% of people going through your automation actually buy. Because the numbers very quickly change if you're only getting 1%. If you're getting like the average, if the average is 1% and you're getting the average, that's not bad, it's average, but you're going to 5x your profits if you know how to make a product that is an immediate, hell yes, I have to have this. Let me click checkout and buy right now. That's the energy we're looking to channel with your your digital product. Okay, I'm turning the iPad back on. I'm like dying. My throat is gone. Sorry, guys. I want you to, let's look at this and then we're going to get into the numbers, okay? So this automation that is going to be fully hands-off starts with a freebie. The freebie is really good. It's very valuable. It's 60 pages long and it's very helpful. Then you're going to run ads to it. If you have my ads course, you're going to follow what we teach in the ad sections I already pointed out. You're going to run ads. They're freebie ads. So they're ads that are collecting the email addresses. That's the 3rd stage of the automation, is collecting the email addresses. Those email automations are going to be automatically carried over. And if you have the ads course, that's another thing we teach you how to do, is like how to get the Facebook ad email addresses to talk to the email automation, right? Because they have to automatically go into that email automation. Watch that video in the ads course as well. You're going to build out the email automation. It's going to be 45 days long. It should be a mix of valuable emails and pitch emails. Really simple formula is like 2 valuable emails, 1 pitch. So 2 emails where you're answering like frequently asked questions. You're just like educating and providing value. You're sharing things that worked for you and things that didn't work for you. You're letting people know a little bit more about you. You're building that trust. And then on the 3rd day, you pitch your digital product, which is the 3rd thing, which is the low ticket product. Price point wise, let me just really quickly, hold on. Okay, price point wise, you're going to charge $100 to $200 for your low ticket digital product. So if you have my How to Create a Viral Digital Product course, I recommend you follow all the steps I teach in either the How to Create a Viral Digital course, right? So like a digital course itself, or how to create a viral PDF bundle. If you don't want to show your face, if you don't want to like put yourself in the video course, totally fine. Watch the section on how to make a PDF bundle that people really want, because that's like a whole nother art in and of itself. So watch that. It doesn't just have to be a course if you'd rather sell something else. Okay. This is the funnel. We're going to zoom out. Now what I want to do is talk about the math on all this funnel. Okay. So we're almost done. We're getting there. Okay. Our email automation converts at 5%. So what we want to do is help you do the math on what numbers you need to know in order to make one sale a day, because I promise you at the beginning of this video that once you build this, you're going to make a sale a day. And I want to give you the numbers that you need to have in order to make that happen. And it's kind of low, to be honest. I was surprised at how easy this is going to be, because I do, like I said, like 70 to 100 sales a day. And so like I was thinking it was going to be like, that's a big scale. And so I was surprised at how easy this is. So our email automation converts at 5%, again, because we have a good product. So just keep in mind, these are our numbers. You need 20 email addresses per day if you want to get one sale. Now, back to my point on why it's worth it to learn how to make a good product. If your product isn't good, you would need 100 email addresses per day. And so what seems like a tiny difference, like a 1% conversion rate versus a 5% conversion rate, is actually really big. It's the difference between needing to get 20 email addresses a day versus 100 email addresses a day. And that's why when I recommend a product or a resource, it's very intentional. I have 30 products. I'm not recommending you buy all 30 of my products, but if I know I have a course or two that's going to make a really big difference for you, if you have a goal of automating your sales, I'm going to recommend that, because I know it's going to make such a big difference, because I didn't have it and it was way harder to figure this all out. So you're going to need 20 email addresses per day. We currently are getting email addresses, thanks to the ads that we run, for 50 cents to $1.50 per email address. I think our average is like what I saw in the screenshots that Rose was showing me, it was like looking like it was 80 cents seemed to be like the number I saw the most. So like 80 cents per email address. So in order to get 20 email addresses, you would need to spend anywhere from $10 on the low end per day to $30 a day on the high end. Okay. So let's just say you start at $10 a day. That's pretty doable, right? Like $10 a day is not having Netflix, not getting coffee, maybe not doing something like some event once a month that you used to do. It's cutting back. Like $300 in the budget is significant, but you can find those savings. And I know that you can, because I did when I was so broke. This was like back when I was making nothing. My gosh, I just sneezed my head off. I felt it coming on. This was back when I was charging nothing, and I was able to, like, you just make sacrifices. Like, I know it sounds trite when you're in it, and I would have been irritated back when I was in it, but if you can find that $10 a day, it's going to be worth it. So let's, from the top, email automation converts at 5%. You're needing to get 20 email addresses per day. And we currently get email addresses from 50 cents to $1.50. So you need to spend anywhere from $10 to $30 a day to get one sale per day. If you charge $100 or $200, so $100 to $200 for your digital product, I can turn the iPad off now, I think. For your digital product, you can profit anywhere from $70, worst case scenario, to $190 per day by one sale a day. And so this is where my students always have this like light bulb moment, because they're so worried to run ads. They're so worried they can't do this. They're so worried about all of this stuff. And then they do it, and I sit down and do the math with them, and I say, no, wait a minute. Like, you're going to spend $10 a day, but your worst case scenario profit is $70. If I did the math right, I think it might even be $80. Maybe even $90. I don't know. I did worst case scenario, like $70 was assuming you're charging $100 and getting email addresses for $1.50, right? So your worst case profit scenario, once this is up and running, is a profit of $70 a day to $190 a day. And that's kind of where we are, where we spend $1 and we make a minimum of $3. So our minimum return on ad spend is like $3. So if we put in $100, we're going to make $300 minimum. Now, one last thing I need to show you, because I told you there's a metric you still need to track. And it is, where is this one? Yeah, here we go. Okay. The metric that you need to track is if your ads are still profitable. So as you start running ads over time, certain ads will need to get like refreshed basically, and you need to like redo it. And so Rose created a tool, this is in the ads course, called the ads diagnostic tool. It's a custom spreadsheet. It's very cool. And not only does she help you track it, but she gives you advice on, so she says how to track your data every morning. This is the one part that's not hands off. Once you build this automation, you're still going to need to make sure it's profitable. So you're going to have to do one thing in the morning, every morning, and that's track this data. It takes I think she said it takes less than 3 minutes. And then then she also, what she does is like, she gives you troubleshooting this way. Like, it's so helpful. It's like, she says, okay, if this is the problem, fix this. If this is the problem, fix this. And so she's not just helping you stay on track of what's profitable, but she's actively telling you what to fix so your ads go back to like giving you that good return on investment. So again, for those of you guys, I know a ton of you watching this, probably all of you watching this, has the ads course. Look for that in the brand new, our custom ads diagnostic tool that she made. That's going to be really helpful. That's the only part of this automation that's not hands off once you build it. So again, like once you build this automation, I told you at the beginning, like it's a lot of work to build. We were not kidding. It's definitely work to build. But once you build this is how it's been working. We have a lot of these now. You have the freebies, collecting email addresses. The email addresses are going into the email automation. The email automation is pitching the product and the people are buying at 5%. And we are literally just building these as fast as we can, because every time we do, we add significant revenue to our, like significant increase to our revenue and ultimately to our profit, into the money in our bank account. So one last thing, if this feels daunting, I totally get it. This is a lot for one YouTube video, but think about it this way. You are not often getting this much value in a YouTube video. You're not often getting this much of a deep dive. And I tried to keep it as bird's eye as I can, but like we did go over, like it's complicated stuff. And so I'm teaching you the real stuff about building a real automated business, not things that like people say sound cool. Like this is the real deal. This is really how you build an automated business. And of course, there's going to be a learning curve. Of course, you're going to have skills that you need to improve on. So if you want like I said, like if you want, I wrote it down here. I'm like, if you want the automated business, you're going to need to up level and learn new skills. Like that's just how it goes. But I have students every single day who are in my coaching group, who take my courses, who are actually doing this. And they're, ladies that aren't super tech savvy. I don't even feel like I'm that tech savvy, but I just figured it out. And then I turned around and like shared it with you guys. It's what I wish I had. So all of that to say, you actually are capable of doing this. If you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe go back and watch it again, and then you kind of get a sense of what this is all going to look like. But I included a section on normalizing you feeling a little bit overwhelmed, because you're not used to videos that just go straight into teaching this stuff. You're used to like feel good motivational videos that make you feel productive, but aren't actually teaching you what you need to do. So hopefully that was helpful. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next one.